Brooklyn is a living draft, a place constantly being edited by hands that were there and hands that just arrived. Some people grew up here with memories built into the sidewalk, block parties that colonized entire intersections, car speakers louder than planning boards, summer nights thick with double Dutch ropes, grill smoke, and unfiltered opinions about the world. Others arrived later, suitcase-less but blueprint-ready, the gentrifiers, the neighborhood redistributors, the ones who see culture as a backdrop instead of inheritance. And the funny thing is, the architecture remembers more than the residents sometimes do. The old brownstones, the stoops, the ironwork, the corner retail buildings, they hold Caribbean dialects, hip-hop pacing, West African rhythm, Black American congregation habits, immigrant hustle logic. They were designed to be homes, but they became stages. A Brooklyn stoop is not just circulation, it's performance art. The steps are seating, the railings are punctuation, the doors are back of house, and the sidewalk is the audience. That's the old Brooklyn grammar. Then the new Brooklyn moved in and tried to correct the spelling. Glass condos that talk louder than communities, boutiques that price out the memories beneath them, cafes where the only thing being brewed stronger than coffee is entitlement. Not all newness is hostile, but all newness is powerful, especially when it doesn't ask the place what it wants to become. It just tells it. And here's the twist. The same architecture that once held culture like a time capsule can also hold it like a border wall. If those brownstones aren't lived in, loved, redesigned, or maintained by the people whose energy shaped them, they become artifacts with new ownership and no loyalty. If the storefronts don't reflect the cadence of the community, they become gates instead of doors. If the civic ground floor stops being a commons and starts being a showroom, the neighborhood becomes a lobby you need permission to enter. And once architecture becomes permission-based instead of community-based, displacement stops being a side effect. It becomes the design intent. Because buildings don't just express culture, they enforce it, or erase it, or weaponize it. And Brooklyn is the case study for all three. The lesson was never about old versus new. It was about who gets to be the author. Because culture didn't leave Brooklyn, authorship did. And if we want neighborhoods that hold us instead of removing us, we have to design them like future homes, not real estate footnotes. So when people ask me what Brooklyn teaches architects, developers, or cities, I tell them, study the stoop, respect the retail corridor, design the civic ground floor like a stage, not a gate, and never forget who the audience was meant to be. Because the city isn't being rewritten, it's being re-owned. And architecture will either choreograph belonging or quietly compose the exit strategy. Brooklyn just makes sure you can see the red lines without needing a map. If you live in Brooklyn, whether you're old or new, let me know your thoughts in the comments.